one day, 5 hours and 23 minutes and 15 seconds until the 2019 Academy Awards. Time to look at my picks for this year. Hello everyone, I'm Mitchell Ryan Darcy, and sorry for the very weird format of looking in camera, but I just want to throw out there my Oscar nominees that I think are going to win, and my predictions and all that jazz. But this time I want to do a really short video. I don't want it to be half an hour long, okay? This is how I roll. A permanent marker and a pen. And what I normally do is, okay, so this year with the pen, I choose the ones that I know will win the award. So this is my final prediction. This is the final answer. This is the one that I know is going to win. And then with this one, a different color, I chose it's the only one I could find. I wanted a highlighter, but I couldn't find one. But the red Sharpie for this year is going to be the ones that I want to win. Like, out of all of them, this is the one I would want to win the most. Because I find sometimes the one you want to win, you know is not going to win. And that's why I do. It's a bit of a safety net, but at the same time, I don't really count this. I count this as a separate thing. This is the main prediction one, and this is the one that counts the most. So, you ready for this? Here we go. Okay. Starting off with the bottom of the list. These categories near the bottom are the ones that it's usually a guessing game. It's unfortunate, but it is true, because I've never heard of any of these. Best documentary short subject. Usually with these categories I just go off of whatever sounds the best. Period, end of sentence, I think is such a creative title for a documentary. Because of the name, I'm gonna go with period, end of sentence. Final answer, period, end of sentence. That's a double. Last year I was 58% correct on my predictions for what will win. Live action short film. Once again, never heard of any of these. I'm gonna take a stab and say the one that sounds the most interesting is Detainment. I want it to win, it will win. Look at that, I'm already getting permanent marker all over my hands. Animated short film, Bayo. And unfortunately, because it is a Disney short film, I have a strange feeling that one will win. Bayo will win, and I want it to win. Visual effects. Because visual effects is kind of both the technical side and then practical side, because the Academy doesn't have a separate one for practical and CGI effects, which it should, because there's a big difference between those two. So oh, that's the first big decision. I kind of want Ready Player One and Avengers Infinity War to win, but I also want First Man to win. This is a problem, because it's like, this is several films I want to win, but what will win? Damn it. This is hard. This is tough. I want First Man to win, but you know what's gonna win it? Avengers Infinity War. Oh man, here we go. It to go. It is a me, a Mario. Okay, sound mixing. Sound editing is more the placement of sounds and using of sounds. Sound mixing is the creation of sounds and stuff like that. For example, Jurassic Park, them making the sounds of the dinosaur when dinosaurs don't exist. We have no sound file of what a dinosaur actually sounds like. So, that would be sound mixing. Where sound editing is more what choice of sounds to use. And I'm under the impression this is how it is. I believe that's how it goes. So, here we go. Sound mixing, I'm gonna have to go with. Now, Bohemian Rhapsody is kind of the wrench in all this, because I've only seen it one movie once, on a drive-in theater, and I can't tell if they used original Queen audio, or I'm under the impression that they, it's acting up to a certain point and then they sort of sync it to the actual Queen song. But there's some moments in the movie where I can't tell if maybe it's the actors doing their best impression of the singing, or maybe they just found some obscure demo tape isolated vocals of Freddie Mercury or something like that and just incorporated the film. So that's kind of the wrench here in the sound mixing award. Let's face it, I want, in this specific category, A Star Is Born, just because I loved, when I saw that in theaters, IMAX, I loved the sound mixing, because the concert sound like I was listening. It sounded like, and it felt like, because the seats were shaking from the sound effects. I don't know if every theater was like that, but mine was. And A Star Is Born, the concert sounded like an actual concert. And then when it got to, them, when it switches between concert and them, talking or just normal everyday life, it just sound pretty realistic to me. And so, all the little things like that, I for that reason, I want A Star Is Born to win sound mixing, but I understand it's not. Star Is Born is definitely not going to win sound mixing. I kind of want First Man to also win, just because First Man wasn't really nominated for a lot of other things. Man. Whew, sound mixing. Why do I have a bad feeling they're going to give it to Bohemian Rhapsody? Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. They're mixing live action, them recording on set with actual recordings of Queen, so that's technically sound mixing. So, Bohemian Rhapsody will win it, but I honestly think A Star Is Born or First Man should win it, but my want will be on Star Is Born. Sound editing. Once again, Bohemian Rhapsody's in here to throw a wrench into things. I want, hands down, A Quiet Place to win sound editing. That's a given. I mean, it would be nice if First Man won, but I keep leaning on First Man because, it's such a great movie. Bohemian Rhapsody, yeah, are they gonna sweep it for sound? Yeah, it's kind of the safe bet, but I'll be really happy if A Quiet Place won. Production design. Once again, I haven't seen The Favorite, I haven't seen Roma, and I haven't seen Mary Poppins Returns. Kind of sad I didn't see Mary Poppins Returns. It's kind of, here's the two that it comes down to, is Black Panther and The Favorite, and it's like, is the period piece gonna beat a superhero movie? That's basically what it boils down to in the terms of production design. I gotta remember there's a difference. So production design would be more the location and stuff like that. And the thing is, Black Panther, you're creating a world or a country, like a city that doesn't exist. Wakanda doesn't actually exist on the map that we know of. So The Favorite, in my opinion, because I'm under the impression it's a mansion or whatever, so it's filmed on a location. There's not as much creativity done into the production design. There is production design, don't get me wrong. Every movie has some sort of production design, but I feel like Black Panther has more of imagination, more creativity when it comes to production design and the look of things or whatever, but discounted on the sense that Black Panther was already established in another movie, so they kind of have to copy stuff. They couldn't just create something new. Like, for example, Black Panther's suit we saw in Civil War. So we can't have, going into Black Panther, he has a totally different creative suit that's different unless it's shown in the movie that here's a new suit that he is given, stuff like that. So I'm gonna say I want Mary Poppins Returns to win. Actually, no. I want Black Panther to win, but I have a feeling it's going to be the favorite. Original score. It's all about the music. It's so nice seeing Isle of Dogs being nominated for original score. But it's so unnice that First Man was absolutely snubbed out of this category. Out of all the categories that First Man should be in, I felt original score should definitely have been it, because for a biopic, a serious biopic about space, having music like that, I couldn't believe it in the theater listening. I'm like, they actually chose to do music like this for a movie like this, and it just, I think it works so well. It's kind of the most unexpected original score for a movie I've ever heard, and like specifically the when they're landing on the moon, that song, the score, like, oh. So for that, I want Isle of Dogs to win. That's a absolute given. Let's see, Mary Poppins Returns. They're not going to give it to a sequel because it's not really as original, unfortunately. Never saw Black Klansman, and I never saw If Beale Street Could Talk. Unfortunately, I heard they're both extremely good movies. I just don't know. Black Panther's score didn't really gave me that much more of an impact. I felt the original songs that they made for the movie had more of an impact than the actual score. Yeah, I think Black Panther. Yeah, Black Panther will win it. Though I would be very happy if Isle Dogs wins. Original song. Well, this one's an easy one. I want Shallow to win. But you know what is gonna win? Shallow by Lady Gaga. Okay, so makeup and hairstyling. I wanted to do an Oscar rant for this year so badly, but I never got around to actually doing it. I had so many good points, and I'm sure a lot of things have already been said. One of the rant points I was going to say is makeup and hairstyling. Why is there only 3 categories? I mean, I'm pretty sure there was more than 3 films last year that had makeup or hairstyling, okay? And why is Black Panther not nominated? Like, holy shit. In this specific case, it's hands down going to be Vice. Vice, I want to win, and Vice will win, okay? Now, film editing. I didn't get a chance to see Green Book. I didn't get a chance to see Favorite, Black Klansman. Yeah. Here's the thing about Bohemian Rhapsody. It may be an inaccurate script. It may be the problems with the film itself, but and the director and all that. But like the film, what kind of saves the film is kind of the editing. It actually, because it was a very entertaining film from beginning to end, and it moved very briskly from scene to scene, the transitions and all that. Like the performances of recreation of live events or music videos and all that, like extremely well done. And if there is one film on this list that I would kind of want to win, that's Bohemian Rhapsody should have the award given the nominations for film editing, but I kind of would rather see Black Klansman win it, just because I've heard, because my mom and my friend seen it, and they said it was extremely well done in terms of editing and all that, and I heard they used footage from the like actual live events near the end of the film and stuff like that. So it's like that film I think is probably more deserving. I don't know if I'm saying the word right. Deserve. Yeah, they deserve. I think Black Klansman deserves film editing, but unfortunately I kind of want Bohemian Rhapsody to win just because it was a very entertaining in the sense of editing, and I firmly think the Academy is going to choose that one. So, costume design. We're talking. What's this? 5. You can get 5 nominations for costume design, but not makeup and hairstyling. Like, come on. Once again, you got period accurate films versus things that aren't real, and it's like creative fantasy, exaggerated, that sort of thing. So it's like, I want Black Panther to win, and I'm gonna double down on Black Panther. I mean, the favorite could sneak upon a win, but I think they're gonna give it to Black Panther. Cinematography. Okay. A Star is Born has some nice cinematography, but just the shots I've seen of Roma, the clips they shown at awards and Academy Awards and all that, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I haven't seen Roma, I kind of want Roma to win, and I think it will win. Now, original screenplay, I am absolutely dissatisfied that Vice is considered an original screenplay, especially the fact that it's based on a true story. So I think in my opinion, if something is based on a true story or adapted, it should not be an original screenplay. It should be in the adapted screenplay section, which is conveniently the next award after this one. It's like they have it for a reason, That, like Inglourious Basterds. Inglourious Basterds is based on a true event, or not true event. Oh my gosh, I am just brain farting all over the place. And Inglourious Basterds is inspired by a true event in the sense of a war, and so it's World War II, but it's an alternate history. So in that sense, it wouldn't go and adapted; it would be an original. See what I'm getting at? I don't know. Anyways, so Vice, I feel like, should not be in this category. Green Book, I also heard, is based on a specific, it's a true people, so a biopic, so I honestly don't think that should be nominated for original screenplay. But I don't know what First Reformed is, and The Favorite I never actually seen. I assume it's a period piece. And then Roma, I guess Roma. When in doubt, Roma. I want Roma to win. Roma would want to win, but what will win it is... I have a feeling it comes down to either The Favorite or Green Book is going to take it. I don't really know. Green Book? Yeah, no. 50-50, Favorite or Green Book. Favorite or Green Book. Should I just flip a coin? Yeah, I'll do that. No, I'm going to go with The Favorite for original screenplay. Actually, no. I should go with Green Book. Yeah, I'm changing my mind. Changing my mind to Green Book. Green Book. Yes. Final answer. Will take original screenplay. Adapted screenplay. I feel like I want to give it to Black Klansman. That's the one I would kind of be rooting for, but I think they're going to give it to If Beale Street Could Talk. But I would certainly also be happy with A Star is Born. Foreign language film. Let's face it. Roma is going to win this one because it's nominated for Best Picture, which I think is unfair that, for a foreign language film, like all the other, I feel bad for all the other foreign language films because this is the category that's supposed to bring spotlight to people who are not, films that are not, made in America, or not made in America, but like heavily shown, like popularized. Like Roma is on Netflix, and anyone who has a Netflix thing can view it. But like, there's movies on here that I never heard of, like Shoplifters from Japan. I've never even heard of that film until it was nominated. Never Look Away, Germany, Capernaum, Lebanon. Like, those films I never even heard of. The only other one I kind of heard of was Cold War, and that one was getting a lot of, like, I was hearing some word of mouth of that film. It's like these films, other films, have no chance of winning Best Foreign Language Film just because Roma is also nominated for Best Picture, and I think that's a bit unfair. But then I find it unfair that Best Picture nomination, films that get overlooked is anything animation gets overlooked. And one of the biggest gripes with Best Picture is, for example, I felt like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse should be nominated for Best Picture. And the problem is, if it was, then all the other animated films would be, overlooked. It would be like, what's the point of having that separate category when you know it's going to win that category, It's the problem when you have specific categories for best film. Because winning best foreign language film, that's the best picture of foreign language films. When you win best animated film, that's winning the best of all animated films. So it's like the best picture is in general. So it's like if you're nominated for that and another specific type of best picture, then there's a good chance you've already won the other best picture. And I kind of don't like that. I wish there was maybe a rule for if you're nominated for one, you can't be nominated for the other or something like that. But then it's like, that would be weird, and actually that would probably be worse. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to solve that issue. Unfortunately, I want Roma to win, and Roma will win. Okay, so documented feature, Won't You Be My Neighbor and They Shall Not Grow Old were both absolutely snubbed in this category, and I can't believe out of all the snubs that the documentary feature is the one you have people complaining about snubs. That never happens. Documented feature is usually spot on with documentaries. And it's like, this year it's like, you snubbed 2, not 1, 2. Granted, I can kind of see why They Shall Not Grow Old was not nominated, just because it technically was a very limited release. It didn't actually have it wasn't even limited event. Right now, it's a limited showing for They Shall Not Grow Old. But last year in 2018, it was like a more of an event, 1 day, 2 day type event. So I can kind of see date-wise release why that film was nominated. But there should have been no reason why Won't You Be My Neighbor was not nominated for documented feature this year. So I guess RBG is going to win it. But I guess I want Free Solo to win it. I guess. I guess. Animated feature. Once again, Isle of Dogs. It's nice that that's nominated. I know Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is going to win. And I want Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse to win. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse transcends being an animated film and transcends being a superhero film. It's that good. Anyways, Best Supporting Actress. They're not going to give it to Amy Adams Vice, though she did a good job with it. Like, I can see why they nominated. Like, all these nominations at this point for the acting, I can see why they nominated. I'm going to go with the one I want. Regina King, if Beale Street could talk, if I could talk and pronounce this title of the film, I want that. I want Regina King to win, and she will win. Double down. Best Supporting Actor. I know they're not giving it to Sam Rockwell. I know they're not going to give it to Sam Elliott. I shouldn't have discounted him so soon. There was a couple moments in A Star Is Born where he absolutely could win it, but I have a strange feeling that actually, you know what? I want Sam Elliott to win. After thinking about it, I want Sam Elliott to win, but I think Mahershala Ali I apologize if I'm butchering your name. I'm not good with names, but I try my best. Mahershala Ali. I think he's gonna pull a Christopher Waltz and win Best Supporting again for this time for Green Book. There we go. Best Lead Actor. I feel like Bradley Cooper shouldn't have been nominated for Best Actor for A Star Is Born. He was basically doing a Sam Elliott impression. I hate to joke about it in that throwaway way, but I think he was snubbed heavily for Best Director. So it's kind of unfortunate that he's nominated so easily for... I mean, he kind of deserves the nomination for what he did for that film, but still. It basically comes down to Rami Malek and Christian Bale. Christian Bale was definitely probably the best part of Vice, and his spot-on acting of... I forgot his name. Wow, I saw the movie too. Dick Cheney. Gosh. I feel like Christian Bale they already gave him awards Oscar-wise, so that's the thing is, it's his first time nomination, so what's the chances of them giving it to Rami Malek? That's the thing, and it's like, I want Rami Malek to win. That's an absolute given. I definitely want to check out At Eternity's Gate. Because apparently it's a Vincent Van Gogh film that I never even heard about until it was nominated. Like, William Dafoe playing Vincent Van Gogh? Like, wow. The Oscar will be taken home by going all in on Rami Malek. Final offer. Final offer? Final answer, you know? Achievement in directing. Anything but Vice. Adam McKay deserves best directing for The Big Short. This movie, nomination, yeah, he's not going to win it. It's, to me, for this award, it's down to Spike Lee and Alfonso Cuarón. Alfonso Cuarón? I apologize. I want Spike Lee to win. Will Roma win best directing? The thing is about Roma is, from what I heard, the director guy, he did several things. Like, he did cinematography for that film, directed it, produced it, I think he wrote it as well. Like, he did, like, several main things that are usually different people, and he did all that. And his film was able to be nominated so much for the Academy Awards. Like, I as much as I want Spike Lee to win, they might still give it to Spike Lee, but Alfonso Cuarón, yeah, Roma, sure, well, yeah. I don't know. I can't pull the trigger on this. Roma looks so good of a film. I mean, Black Klansman looks good, but it's just compared to Roma. Like, Roma is from what I've seen, it stands out so much. Alfonso Cuarón already won for another film, right? Yeah, he won Best Director. What, Gravity? And for that, I'm gonna double down on Spike Lee. Yep, they're gonna give it to Spike Lee. I have a bad feeling about this year's Oscars. My predictions are gonna not be as well as last year. Best Picture. This is probably the most mixed bag and most almost even Oscar Best Picture race I've ever seen, in the sense that, like, all of them in some ways are like for example, it's like I can kind of see each one of these winning in their own way, but I really don't think they could give it to Black Panther, but I don't know. It's I can see it, but I can't at the same time. Like, I'm trying to predict the future here. Out of all of them, I know Vice is not going to win. Vice is on the low end, in my opinion, out of all the nominations, so we can definitely exclude that one. Out of all of them, for Best Picture, the one that I want to win, I mean, as nice as it would be Bohemian Rhapsody winning, in the inaccuracies of that film, of what really happened and what they decided to go with for a script, like, you gotta remember, it was written by several different people. So they had writers, they wrote the script, and then it's like, oh, they fired or got rid of them, hired new writers, and it's like it's a mixed bag sort of type thing. And same with the director. Director got fired, and then it switched out another one for the remaining 2 weeks. Like, there's so many things going against Bohemian Rhapsody that I don't think it's going to win Best Picture. Though it kind of nice if Bohemian Rhapsody won, but I don't think it should have Best Picture, because Best Picture represents the entire year, and out of all of them, Roma should represent the entire year for 2018. I mean, technically 2018 because it came out 2018. So Roma, I want kind of Roma, because Roma, from what I've heard, seems like it would be the best representation of a Best Picture nominee. It's sort of like, it's kind of the one film, from what I've heard, because I really need to see the film. It's from what I've heard and seen of the clips, it's like, it seems like it's a true Best Picture type nomination. Like, it's a bit Oscar bait, but at the same time, it's kind of deserving of that praise. Like, not saying the other films in this category aren't deserving of Best Picture, but it's just like, that's the one that's just slightly ahead of everyone, Roma. And that's the one I want to win Best Picture. Green Book, I heard, has some, I don't know, I guess the people behind the real life event, their families are like fighting over if it's inaccurate or something like that. The director has some controversy, stuff like that. Black Panther, it would be nice having a superhero win Best Picture. Not sure if that's actually going to happen, especially the fact that Shape of Water won last year. So Shape of Water is like, there's a category of fantasy / horror, and only 3 or 4 films in the entire history of the Oscars have won Best Picture for science / horror. And so I don't think Black Panther will win this year, just because, I mean, it's absolutely amazing that it was nominated. It just proves that a superhero film could be nominated for Best Picture. Though I feel like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse should have been nominated instead of Black Panther for Best Picture. But that's just me. Actually, you know what? Not instead of Black Panther. Instead of Vice, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse should have been nominated for Best Picture. That's just me. But the one that's going to win it, I'm doubling down on a Best Picture winner. I think Roma's going to take it. I might be wrong, but I may be right. Anyways, thank you very much for... Oh, fuck, did I miss a category? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I fucking missed the Best Lead Actress category. How did I miss that? This one was actually kind of easy. I want Lady Gaga to win for A Star Is Born. I saw the Golden Globes, and I've seen the results for Screen Actors Guild and BAFTA and all that, and I feel like Glenn Close, they're gonna give it to her. And I haven't seen The Wife, so I don't know how good it is, but this category is a perfect example of why I have both want and will win, because I want Lady Gaga to win for A Star Is Born, but Glenn Close will win it for The Wife. And that's my Oscar. Is that all of them? Please tell me I didn't miss another category. 24 categories. Time to see which ones I get right, which ones I get wrong. Yeah, I'm not gonna do I'm gonna write in the description the results in the terms of how well I did this year compared to last year. So thank you very much for watching my predictions. I'm gonna try and get this out as soon as possible, so that way you can see timestamp wise that I got these predictions out way before in advance. This year I don't feel that confident in my picks. I just feel like I didn't really watch a lot of films that were nominated. I think I watched more nominated films last year than I did this year. Thank you very much for watching. I want you to have a nice day or night or whatever time you watch this. Have a nice whatever.